Hey, and thanks for joining us on this week's episode of For All Things Lexington, the only show dedicated to Lexington, South Carolina, and where a spade is always a spade. Here we'll talk to and about people, places, groups, things to do, and places to go in and around Lexington, South Carolina. I'm your host, Angela Barrett, and this is For All Things Lexington. Brought to you in part by GervaisStreetBridge.com, Columbia's most unforgettable free-to-list business directory. Hey guys, well thanks for letting me be here today. I'm excited to learn all about your organization. Guys, I have David Hall and Kate Long with me. David, you are the director of this Columbia Midlands Orphan Relief, but you're also the director of distribution down in Charleston.
Yes, ma'am.
And Kate, you are the marketing and volunteer coordinator?
Yes, I do all of the volunteer things. So if you want to volunteer with us, please do feel free to reach out to me. And then yes, do our marketing, all of our social media. So if you guys see all of our Wednesday wish lists, which definitely get more into that, all of those, it's all me. And also, of course, assist with everyday operations, day-to-day communicating with all of the agencies that we work with and making sure that orders get fulfilled and these clothes get sent out.
Yeah. So tell me, what is Midlands Orphan Relief?
So I'll let you start. Go ahead.
All right. So Midlands Orphan Relief is actually an extension. This is our organization's second location, and we started down in Charleston. Our first site was Low Country Orphan Relief. And so our founder, her name is Miss Lynn Young, and she actually started this work after she had retired. She had a career in teaching and had retired from that capacity and took on a position as a volunteer guardian ad litem. And so for anybody who isn't familiar with guardian ad litems, they essentially go through all of the court proceedings, do home visits for children that are on these abuse and neglect cases, and then they come up with a recommendation as to what they think is the best placement and ultimate situation for that child. They give that recommendation to the judge. And so she was working in that capacity and just noticed the very immediate need for clothing for the children that were on her caseload, because they were wearing clothes that had, stains and tears, holes, just not in great condition.
Right.
And it's such a basic need. By this point, she did not have any young children of her own, and so started just asking neighbors with children for clothes that their kids had grown out of or that they were no longer using, and the response to that was overwhelming. Her porch started to fill up with donations from just her neighbors and members of her own community. And again, it was just overwhelming. And so from there, it's started to become so much that she had to rent storage units to house all of the donations that she was getting for these children that she was working with. And by that point, the supply was much bigger than the demand for the kids that she was working with. And then kind of realized that she could work with other agencies and provide this clothing to other children beyond just those that she was working with as a guardian ad litem. And so didn't have the intention to start a nonprofit when she started this work, but again, the response was just incredible, and then continued to expand, make connections with other organizations in the community like DSS, that's a really big partner for us, foster parents, foster agencies and organizations, early intervention agencies, essentially any and everyone that works with children that are either at risk for or actively suffering from abandonment, abuse, or neglect. And so started doing the work in Charleston in 2003, so celebrating 20 years down there now. Oh, wow. And we officially became a nonprofit, got our 501c3 in 2007, and so we've been down in Charleston doing Low Country Orphan Relief for quite some time now, and actually just moved here really
2001.
or 2021.
2021.
It was summer, but we were pretty quiet those first few months, really just adjusting to the Midlands area, trying to make connections with the organizations and agencies like DSS up here, because there is such a need in the Midlands. I believe Richland County has the highest number of children in foster care in South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And so there is a big need, but of course just had to take that time to make those connections and identify those children that are in need. And I started in last May. It has grown so much just in the past year. So really excited about what the next year is going to hold for us.
Well, that's good. So let me see if I understand this right. So foster children who are either placed in homes or shelters or wherever it may be, if there is a need for clothing items, or in the case of babies, maybe Pampers, things like that, those families or shelters can come here to get those kinds of things for these kids.
Yes. So they place a simple order. We try to fulfill this order within 24 to 48 hours, but sometimes, majority of the time, it's that need right then and there.
Sure.
So we can fulfill a need just like that. But all you have to do is fill out a simple form, and it has to be done by someone that is credible or a company that's credible. It can't just be local people to fill out. We have foster parents that are able to do that, caseworkers, hospitals, schools, churches, you name it. We're in about 30 different agencies in Columbia already in Lexington County.
And you also have something set up at schools, correct?
Yes. So they're called just-in-case closets. And the basis of it is a closet with clothing, shoes, socks, whatever a child may need that has an accident at school. So say your child has an accident at school or and needs clothing. Instead of calling a parent, they'll go to the just-in-case closet and get what they need. Or say a child comes to school with holey shoes every day. Instead of calling DSS and making a claim and things get bigger, let us try to take care of the clothing first. And then if that doesn't work, then we go through the proper procedures.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Now, so you get these clothes through donations, and on your website, you have what is acceptable and what's not. Like, in other words, what can be gently used versus what absolutely needs to be new. Undergarments, obviously brand new, and everything else gently used. And you have certain sizes.
Yes.
Now, you also, I know on Facebook, and I don't know about Instagram, but I know for a fact on Facebook, your Wish Wednesday, and those are your most critical items that are needed at this time. So anybody who, wanted to, they can go on Facebook and find your Wednesday wish list.
Yes, we do have that. We're on Facebook and Instagram on both just as Midlands Orphan Relief. And we do put that out every Wednesday, our wish list. And that is just a list containing usually about 5 items that we are running lowest on most of the time. Stuff on that list we are either completely out of or about to run out of. And so that's just few of our most critical needs. That is updated every week, and it is also connected to our Amazon wish list, which I also update so that it is super easy to navigate. Go to our Amazon wish list and it'll come up the items in the exact same order that they're listed on the Wednesday wish list. And so it's super easy to navigate, makes those items easy to find, and put that out every week.
Yeah, and so just real quick, going back to the schools, I know you said that Richland County has a lot, but like you do have schools in the Lexington County area as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
I think it's about 4 of them in Lexington County as of right now, and that's in 1 year.
It's actually 5.
5. Yeah. Yes, 5. I always forget that. But we have a total of 16 in 4 different counties. But Lexington, I think we have the most in Lexington County. So which is big, and I know the need is big.
Well, Lexington, we're just really spread out. There's a lot of cow pastures between, and we like it that way.
Yes, I understand.
So let's go through. There is something, and this is how I found out about you guys, neighborhood captains.
Okay.
Like on our neighborhood Facebook page, your neighborhood captain through here put out and sent a picture of an empty shelf. And I was like, wait, what is this? And so that's how I even found out about y'all, I'm embarrassed to say. But so tell me a little bit about the neighborhood captains. And so that would at least be one source of volunteer. But tell me how that works.
So neighborhood captains are, I say, one of our biggest supporters. So what it is, we ask one person in a neighborhood to put out on their Facebook page, or we'll put it also on our website that we have a neighborhood captain that's able to gather all the clothing. So if you live across town in Lexington and you don't want to drive 30 minutes away or whatever, you can drop off at this facility at her or his house, and they sort these things out and then they bring them to us. So if you don't have the ability to come up to the distribution center and volunteer, this is one way you can volunteer at home. What we do ask is, once again, new or like new clothing. We can't reiterate that enough because these children deserve the best. They deserve your first, not your last. So what we're asking is, when these neighborhood captains do get these clothing, they sort it out and they know what we need. We show them how it's done, and even if I need to go pick it up myself, or Miss Kate or Miss Christie, we'll go pick it up and get these clothing here.
Okay, so I'm going to challenge right now my neighborhood, which is Saluda River Club. I want you to fill up. It's Lisa, right? She's the neighborhood captain, and I'll make sure y'all get in touch with her. But I want her porch filled, and let's get it down here. And so, tell me about the other volunteer positions that, if you want to come down and volunteer, other than donating clothes and money, how else can people help?
Yeah, so outside of the neighborhood captain program, which again is a great way to get involved, if you want to do more than just donating, which is always an option. I tell everybody that comes through here, if you're cleaning out your closet, please do send your clothes our way first, because we will absolutely make use of everything that we can. And of course, those items are going to be sent out to children that are really in need of good clothing. But it is, of course, an option to actually volunteer at our distribution center. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 4, and we offer 2 volunteering shifts every day. We have a morning shift from 10 in the morning until noon, and then one in the afternoon from 1 to 3 o'clock. And so, again, do that every day, Monday through Friday, and the process is very simple. Just ask that folks send me an email at least a day in advance of when you'd like to volunteer, and help you get scheduled. And so our volunteers at our distribution center are actually going through all of those donations that we're receiving, and making sure everything is in good condition, pulling out anything that may not be child appropriate, or what a teenager or someone who's younger maybe would want to wear. And so, of course, just sorting through donations is a very big volunteer project here, and actually packing the care kits that are going to be sent out to the children that we're working with. And fortunately, it has slowed down a good bit with it being the summer. A lot of our volunteers have come from USC because we are so close to the university, and there are so many other colleges in this area as well. So a lot of our volunteers are students. But fortunately, we have at least a volunteer or two in every day, and so care kits pretty much are getting packed. Like David mentioned earlier, ideally 24 to 48 hours, wouldn't take any longer than that. 48 hours being for those that are referring for families, multiple children at a time. But fortunately, we do have wonderful volunteers, but of course, always have room for more. But our volunteers are so amazing. We pretty much get our orders, our care kits sent out
within one
A
day.
few hours,
Yeah.
really.
So this is a care kit.
Yes.
So tell me what's in a care kit. Is it different for every child?
It's different for every child.
Okay.
So we get a order sheet. It's basically a form, and they'll check off the things that they want. So say they need shoes and a jacket and toiletries, and that's what will be in there. But we also put a stuffed animal and a book in there always. I don't care if the child is newborn or if it's an 18-year-old male or female. They're all going to get a stuffed animal and book, because we realize that some of the children that get these bags are in facilities, or they can be in DJJ, or have done bad things, or just need something to love on. So this stuffed animal is something that they can hug on, and something that someone cannot take away from them. But also the book, I realize that these children come from homes that they have difficult things that's going on. But when I was a child, I remember my stuffed animal, and I remember just looking in the book and trying to zone out of what is going on in their life.
Sure.
So that's what we provide for them. We put them in these bright colored bags so they can reuse for laundry, or even if they have to move from another house to another.
So the books, are they gently used books, or they're all brand new, and is that something else that can be donated?
Yes.
Yes, so they all are brand, it could be both, gently used or brand new. We do ask for brand new most of the time, because lots of gently used books, they have wear and tear they'll tear up really fast, but also they have names in them. And we want to be personable. This child doesn't want a shirt or a jacket or even a book with someone else's name in it. So if we can get brand new, we would love that.
Yeah, and the stuffed animals obviously new.
Yes.
For hygiene purposes, I would imagine.
We do take used stuffed animals, but it has to be on that same level of gently used. We can tell the stuffed animal when you take it out of the bag if it's gently used or not.
Sure. So that's the way that you help, the volunteers can help. Mm-hmm. So you have, I know, at least one event coming up. It's the Southern Garden Party.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so tell me about that.
Want me to talk about it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Southern Garden Party, it will be in April, pretty sure, next year. It is a big event where we have, I say 100 to 150 people come out, and it's a Southern Garden Party. We usually use one of those old plantation houses with flowers, and it's just a big event, mimosas, but what goes on there, we have a hat contest, Southern hat contest, and it's $20 usually to get in, and these women come with these beautiful hats, and and most of the prize money goes to MOR, but we do have prize baskets for first and second and third place. But the best thing about it is we have a fashion show, and it's not a regular fashion show. It's just with children that are in the system that want to inspire to be models. So we have a runway, we have music, we have lights. It's just an amazing day. And it's just for awareness. So in April, we're going to, put that out there well before April. And it's usually $45 to $50 a ticket, but it comes with a free mimosa. It comes with hors d'oeuvres, and it's just a lot of fun that day.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. Mm-hmm. I probably know some women that I can get here in April. And then you guys have probably one of the most important drives is what is known as your stocking drive. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
Yes, so the stocking drive is something we do here and in the Low Country at the end of every year. And so ultimately the purpose of the stocking drive is to stock up on new items here at our distribution center. And so as we spoke on, we do take, depending on what type of item, used and new donations. And so with the stocking drive, everything that we get is all brand new. And so through that, we're able to provide these children with all new items. And so how it works is you take Last year we had actual stockings, moving more to a virtual platform for this year, but we have actual virtual stockings, and they are all representative of children that we work with. And so we don't have names on there, of course, for confidentiality purposes, but we have their size information, and so they are representative of actual children that have been referred to us. And it'll have a list of some of the items, probably not everything they asked us for, because that form can be very long, but just a list of some of the items that they requested. And so then community members take that stocking and then purchase those items that are on that list. And so the next child that is referred to us that needs clothes in those sizes is going to get them all brand new. And last year was our first year doing it in the Midlands. We were much smaller than we were even now. I mean, just 7 months ago, we were much smaller in the community than we are today. But even then, the response was incredible. We got so much brand new clothing, brand new shoes, and the shoes are such a big deal, especially to our teenage boys, because so many of them have never gotten these new name brand shoes. Like last year, we got pairs of Pumas, Nike, Adidas. I think we even got like some Air Force Ones somebody had donated. It's a very expensive shoes, and then pretty much the next day got to send out some new shoes. It was a new pair of Pumas that had been donated to us. Sent those out to a teenage boy that had been referred to us by one of the guardian ad litems with Richland County CASA, court-appointed special advocates. They are Richland County's guardian ad litem program. And we work with a good few of their guardian ad litems over there, and they had referred a teenage boy to us, and we sent these shoes out to him pretty much that same day. The caseworker actually was going to see that child that same day, and so they sent the referral form over to us, got the care kit packed, got those brand new shoes in there, and that same day they were given to that child. Big old 16-year-old boy. I'm not sure if he was a football player, but absolutely could be if he's not. And his guardian ad litem called us actually with him after he had given him the care kit. And it was just so incredible. This boy, and this is the case for so many of the children that get referred to us, he had never gotten a pair of new shoes before. He had never had somebody in his life that was able to do that for him. And so it meant so much to him. His guardian ad litem was telling us, he was almost in tears, this big old teenage boy, because it just meant so much to him to actually be able to have new shoes to put on his feet, and name brand shoes at that.
Right.
Because you don't know how kids can be.
Yeah, kids can be really cruel in school.
Yeah,
they
to other children.
They're cruel. I mean, it's just the age.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, they absolutely should not have to, on top of the situation that they're facing at home, having no support at home, then to have to go to school and have their classmates put them down because they're not wearing the best shoes or not wearing the best clothes, or maybe it's a situation where they're wearing the same clothes every day. They absolutely should not have to worry about that. And so, again, during the year, not all of our donations have to be brand new, but the stocking drive really, really helps us get all new stuff that gets sent out to these children. And it really does mean so much for someone who has never gotten brand new stuff before, who is used to only, getting hand-me-downs from family members or getting clothing wherever they can, because they don't have parents, unfortunately, that can go out and purchase brand new things for them. And even if they do, maybe not able to purchase, the ideal brands that they want to wear, brands that are popular, that all their classmates get to wear. And so the stocking drive really helps us accomplish that. And so we start that probably October. And so it runs for the last few months of the year. And do that every year. So we'll be starting that in a few months here.
Yep. And the biggest deal of the shoes, I'm going to reiterate on that. We had two boys that found out were going to school separately, and they were brothers. So one of the teachers called the founder, Miss Lynn Young, and she gave me a call and said, we have two boys in school. We found out we're not going to school consecutive days because they were changing shoes. So they only had one pair of shoes. So they were using the same pair of shoes. One day, one child would go to school. So DSS got involved, and we found out they just needed shoes. So Lynn Young put it out on Facebook. We got someone just went out and bought two brand new pair of shoes, and we got them to the board the same day.
I knew I should have brought tissues. Yeah. Yeah, that is, I mean, a lot of us would take for granted, what we put on to go to work or what we put on our children to go to school. And like you said, there are some children who they're taking turns, like you said, to go to school, or they're not going because they're embarrassed or don't feel like the other children.
Yes.
And that affects people through life.
Yes.
I know y'all's program has helped a lot of children and has had some great success in helping at least some confidence boosting when they get new clothes or get clothes that don't have holes and things like that. So I mean, it's a great program. Now your distribution center, I'll get that out right. Can we go sit?
Yes, sure.
All right, great. Got to see actually volunteer back there, certain clothes and all of your needs. And speaking of needs, what is your biggest need right now?
All right, so I think our biggest needs are toiletries, baby wipes, Pampers, on that.
Yeah, there were no baby wipes.
Yes, there were no baby wipes. But with toiletries, we need ethnic hair products. So when we get toiletries, a lot of African American, Latino, Hispanic, or children of color, we can't use the same hair care products because it breaks off our hair and different things like that. We can use it, it will work, but it's not the best for our hair. So what we're asking for is people to send ethnic hair products. Walmart has a nice, good price aisle of that. You can even search it online. But if also on our wish list page, you can go straight to it from Amazon.
Yes, and there's probably some hair products on our wish list right now on Amazon. Those are pretty consistently on there every week, and it's really always a need with toiletries and hair products and like baby wipes as well, because those things, unlike regular tops and bottoms, do have to be brand new. Of course, can't take an open bottle of shampoo for obvious reasons.
Or used toothbrush,
And so with toiletries having to be new, unfortunately, we just don't get them in as frequently as we do like our clothing items. And so toiletries are always a big need. Hair products specifically for ethnic hair of all types, and really for all ages. So toiletries that are appropriate for, because we serve from newborns through 18-year-olds. So from babies through regular adult products, we really need it all. And
we're asking for like sample sizes or a little bit bigger than that. We cannot, I understand the best price ones are the bulky ones, but a child cannot carry that around. So we're asking for like travel size, or even if you go, and a lot of people do this in Charleston, we're trying to get them to do here in Lexington and the Midlands, is when you go on vacation and you have those samples there.
Right.
They're your samples. You can take them, and we have people that save them up all year and bring us bags of those samples, and we can hand them out to those children.
Well, another example, and correct me if I'm wrong, was like when we go to the dentist and you get a toothbrush and a little thing of toothpaste and maybe some floss. I mean, just, if you don't need that bag that's all zipped up and nice and clean, is something that could be brought, right?
Definitely.
Yes, and travel sizes really are preferred because unfortunately most of the time when these children are referred to us, a lot of them that are not at risk, that are on active cases, are coming to us in kind of that transition space between having been removed from their biological homes because of abuse, neglect, whatever it was that was occurring, and then transitioning into either foster care or kinship care, living with a family member. And often in these situations, they can go from home to home, be here today and then placed in with a different family in like Greenville tomorrow, and are often traveling a lot. And so want to be just considerate of them and make sure our bags aren't getting too heavy, because they can get quite heavy with bigger toiletries on top of the clothes, shoes, everything else they're carrying around. And so we take all of them, but travel sizes are really the best, or just smaller sizes. That will be easier, especially for our little kiddos to carry.
Sure, absolutely. Well, some great ideas on how everybody can help. Now let me make sure we have all of your contact information, website, and Facebook, social media pages, and number, please.
Yes, so we are, again, on Facebook and Instagram, on both just under Midlands Orphan Relief. We do have our website, that's midlandsorphanrelief.org. And our phone number for our office is 803-440-8400. And again, we're open 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. And so if you guys want to just give us a call, want to volunteer, have questions about how to donate, where to drop off, please just give us a ring.
Yes, and if you want to in contact with me, David Hall at lorkids.org. That's my email. I'll answer every day whenever you need. And if you need anything, just contact me. I'll be here.
Great, thanks. And thank you again for letting me be here. I'm looking forward to the spring garden party, Southern Garden Party. I'm going to have to find a hat.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We will definitely keep you posted. Hopefully we'll have dates and everything finalized soon. But again, that's probably going to be towards the end of April in 2024. So really excited.
I can't believe it's going to be 2024.
I know. Well, I appreciate you coming today too.
Thank you.
You are
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Your podcast, everyone, please listen to it. It's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or have a person, business, idea, an event that Lexington needs to know more about, email me, local@forallthingslexington.com. That's the number 4, y'all.
This episode was brought to you by the real estate agents at Home Matters, building on service, relationships, and on what matters to you. Find out how you matter and how they can help you with buying and selling your home at homematterssc.com.